Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Game 2 of this first round of the Northeast Hockey League playoffs between the Dawson Canucks and your Fort St. John Flyers.
Check 1, check 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the North Peace Arena in Fort St. John, British Columbia for Game 2 of our opening round series in the North Peace Hockey League between your Dawson Creek Canucks and the Fort St. John Flyers. Dawson took Game 1 with a 3-0 win in that one, dominated the play and suffocated the Flyers' offense. Canucks will look to go up 2-0, take a stranglehold advantage, while the Flyers going to try and scrap to tie this thing up. They're confident playing in their home building. That's where they've got all their wins, just 4-4 on the season. Starting goaltenders tonight will be the same as last night for the Fort St. John Flyers. Landon Hatton will be making the start. 5-3 in the regular season, 3.02 goals against average, and a .918 save percentage. Across the way from him, Peyton Lee will be making his first start of the playoffs for the Canucks. Season, one shutout, so no goals against, perfect save percentage. Appeared in one other game, played half of it, didn't let anything in there. Both these teams are off, ready for Game 2. Shipton over for Desjardins. Cross ice, Swales. Shipton in front, that one gloved by Hatton, and he'll hold on to that for a whistle. Landon Hatton made 37 saves last game in the loss. That gave his team every chance to win that game. They'll be looking for the same out of him tonight. Face off just to the right of him. Fort St. John controls. They'll get it out of the zone. Quick pass up for Ryan. Into the middle. Horst has his pocket picked right before he got a shot off. Now a shot. Scores! Jordan Harder with the opening goal here for the Flyers, just 37 seconds in, and that is exactly the start that Fort St. John wanted coming into this game at home. Pass came from behind the net, out front of the slot for Harder. He's able to beat Lee on the glove side. And the Canucks will have to come back for the first time in a little while. Pretty used to scoring goals first. Scored 12 of the 17 games coming into tonight. So they'll have to find a way to get this one back. Norman will dump it in. Schmerman will give chase. Sirota able to chip that out, and the Flyers are out again. Up for Miller-Jeannot. And Miller-Jeannot. Shot on, saved by Lee. Rebound out front. That one cleared into the corner. Norman runs into a Flyer there. Puck still loose at his feet. Schmerman ended up getting hooked there. And we got a penalty coming up. The back referee was able to catch that one. So Canucks will get a great opportunity here on the power play to even this thing up. Just a minute 28 in. Already a 1-0 lead for the Flyers, but they've already taken their first penalty now. Both teams were 0 for 3 on the power play in Game 1 last night. Face-off one right back to Hatton, and we'll get to redo that face-off. In the regular season, Canucks power play finished third in the league out of 9 teams, 15 goals on 55 attempts, good enough for 26%. Rowley will be out here for this face-off, and he wins that back for Hansen. Desjardins at the half wall, down low for Shipton. Rowley out in front. Shipton and Desjardins will swap spots. Shipton, chip down for Desjardins, tried to cut to the middle, now get backed up to Hansen. That shot blocked, right back onto Hansen's stick though. Crowd loved that block from Phillips. And then Sirota intercepts that puck. Not going to be able to get it out though as Rowley steals that away from him. Tried to send that out front. That was off a skate of a Flyer. Played back to the point now for Hansen. Sent over for Desjardins. He had to take that off the boards. Chip down for Shipton. Tried to center it. That was broken up. Canucks get it right back though. They've maintained control for the majority of this power play. Just not a lot to show for it. Desjardins tried to go Sharp's shot there and short side. Stop that. Cross ice pass. Loose in front. Bounces back to the point. One-timer just wide on the Evan Weaver. One-timer. Canucks still control though. One-timer once again, and that one shut down by Hatton, lunging over to his right. Able to get that one, and he'll hold it for a whistle. 45 seconds left here in this power play for the Canucks. Schmerman out here with Smith and Norman on his wings. Norman stole that one away, and he'll play back to the point for Henriksen. Down low, glove down by Norman. Takes a hit there from Bird. Puck goes loose. Henriksen tipped on, kicked out there by Hatton, able to get that with the left pad. Norman had that skip over his stick. Bird gave him a good shot there, just for good measure. Now Bird cleared that behind the net. Swales pinched up, couldn't keep it in the zone though. Flyers will be able to get it down the ice. Norman starts out at center into the Flyer zone. Little toe drag. Norman stops up. Both teams back to even strength now. Swales finds Norman. Couldn't get a shot on. So it slid off his stick, and that one tipped just wide. Schmerman out in the slot. Able to play it back to the point. Norman in front. That one gloved down by Hatton, and he'll hold it for a whistle. Egan on the face-off. Quick shot by Craig, and that's fought off by Hatton. Absassin takes a hit from Weaver. Craig and his man collide. That was Gray Eyes. A little bit of incidental contact there. Like Craig broke his stick, so he has to go off. Van de Wettering will step on for him. Hart tried to dump that one in. Loose there. Stick caused all kinds of chaos in the middle of the players. Evan Weaver will send it over to his brother Lorne. Cross ice for Tony Hart. Brings that one at the blue line. Egan finds Van de Wettering. Couldn't get a shot on. Egan dumped in the corner after. Right back up. Evan Weaver. Bodies in front. That one hit some of them and cleared out of the zone by the Flyers. Could be a break the other way. Break that one up and get it up the ice. Joey Massingham tips that one in at the red line. Canucks able to get a fresh pair of defenders out. And then that clearing attempt ended up hitting the linesman right in the kneecap. Flyers will get it back now. Sirota up for Phillips. Phillips cross ice. Kallio dump it in the rest of the way. Hayden Lee will just hold on to that puck for a whistle. Win that face-off in their own end. Henriksen got his head up, saw a couple Flyers defending him, so he turned back. Palfy couldn't handle that pass. Puck still loose in the feet. Sirota shot on, saved by Lee, and he's got that between the pads. He'll hold that for a whistle. Face-off will come just to the left of Peyton Lee. He'll come out for this face-off. For the Flyers. Rowley able to win that, but regain control only temporarily. Rowley picks that one up. Takes a good hit. Shipton has Desjardins open. Gets it to him. What a save by Hatton. Able to rob Desjardins. Getting over to his left. Back out in front. Shipton. Lex not to shoot. Now behind the net. Hatton out. Shipton tried to go cross ice for Rowley. That one was batted down by Arbery. Him and Rowley collide and battle in the corner. Hatton had a couple of those last game too. Every time he's in net, he gives the Flyers great opportunity to win. Shipton, another 2-on-1 with Desjardins. Gets it over to him again. And robbed again by Hatton. Is Chris Desjardins tried to deke and go over to the blocker side, and crowd loving it here at the North Peace Arena. Swales went to dump that one in. That ramps up off a stick. Bounces into the corner. Desjardins shoves his man down. Schmerman in to help out as well. Big hit there by Smith, and we got a penalty coming up. Hayden Smith will be going to the box for an interference call. Now the Flyers will get the first power play of the evening. Already up nothing. Try and add to it. Nick Lowen out here for the face-off. Florian and Miller-Jeannot on the wings. Canucks able to win that opening draw. Evan Weaver instantly pinned to the boards behind Peyton Lee. Both Weaver boys trying to get that puck loose. Flyers ended up with it, saved by Lee. Had to be careful there. Flyer trying to go short side. Catch him in and away from the post, but Lee able to hold tight there and keep this one out. Face off in the Canucks end. They won that one. Sent down the ice. Penalty coming up to the Flyers. Going to be a high sticking call. Evan Weaver was high sticked as he went to clear that puck out. So power play done for the Flyers. We'll play 4-on-4 action for 1:32 now. That's already Florian's second time in the box. Face-off will come back in the Flyers zone. Owen loses that one. Back to the point for Swales. Down low for Rowley. Tried to go upstairs, and Hatton able to get that with the glove and hold that one for a whistle. Owen and Rowley will do battle again. Rowley wins again on the face-off. Swales tried to play that to the front of the net for Desjardins. Stolen away by Lowen. This shot wide of the net. Bounces into the corner. Pearson gets to it first. Just able to get out of the way of a Kevin Swales hit. Now Swales and Brennan get tied up. Played back to the point. Shot on. That one broken up by Lowen, and then he tried a backhand shot. Couldn't get anything on it. 4-on-4, so we got some extra space. Swales watched there by Harder. He's the goal scorer for the Flyers. Back to the point, Brennan. Shot on, tipped in front by Desjardins. That one also saved by Hatton. He's been on his game against Desjardins tonight. 3 glorious opportunities. Desjardins tried to play that back for Rowley. Now over for Jordan Harder. Harder. Sent to the front of the net, looking for a tip. That one through the crease. Flyers will bring it back into their zone. Sirota. Over for Legler. Big slap shot. That's off a stick up into the netting, out of play. Face-off coming up inside the Canucks end. Face-off in the Canucks zone. Flyers win that, but bring themselves out on that face-off. Now Henriksen intercepts that at the blue line. They'll go for a skate, trying to bring it into the Flyer zone. Watch there by Sirota. Norman able to find that loose puck. He protects that. Still with it. Tried to play back to the point. Gray Eyes able to get in front of that and send it down the ice. Then took a funny bounce there. Knocked down with a high stick. Must have been knocked down by a Canucks high stick because this Peyton Lee touched it. Face-off coming back inside the Canucks end. Canucks are on the power play, but just for 14 seconds here. They are able to win that. Oren Weaver will break it out from behind his own net. Up for Matt Schmerman. Played into the slot. Norman fakes a slap shot. Both teams back to even strength now. Norman, cross ice, tried to find Weaver, centering pass. That's in the skates of Schmerman. Norman out front. Smith will play it back to the point. D to D. Weaver fires one. That's off a stick. Didn't get to the net. Norman able to win it back against Nimmo. Played back to the point. Weaver shoots. That one hit a body. Rebound picked up by Smith and kept in for the Canucks. Hayden Smith. Played back for Weaver. Fakes his shot, gets it over for Norman. Down low, Schmerman. Out front, that one off a paddle and clear to the side of the net. Sent out front again. Flyers able to block that. Third time's the charm, and yet another block, this time off Brett Norman. Canucks had to wait as they were offside. They'll start a change now. Evan Weaver, big hit he takes behind the net. He's usually on the other end, and he gives Arbery one back now. Played back for Pulfy. Shot on. That's blocked. Flyers trying to start a break the other way. Kallio floats one in, and Lee will get that one easily right into the chest protector. Face-off will take place just to the right of Lee. Face-off one. Puck went to the slot. Now it's picked up by Hansen. He'll get away from one check. Shot on, saved by Hatton, and he's looked back for a second. But he had it underneath his arm. There's a little collision right after the whistle between Great Rex and Hansen. Massingham out here for the offensive zone draw. Hansen and Great Rex tie up. Van de Wettering, Hansen trying to get that loose puck. Squirts free, and then Van de Wettering was tied up right as he went to pass that out front. Hatton ends up finding that loose puck, and he'll cover it up for a whistle. Shots currently 10-8 for the Canucks in this game, but where it matters most, just 1-0 for the Flyers. Desjardins tried to go cross ice for Rowley. Desjardins went to receive that pass, but just a little bit out of his wheelhouse there. Now the Flyers will try and break back the other way. Horst, shot on, wide on the blocker side, bounces to Pearson. That one off the outside of the post and then wide. Miller-Jeannot. Sorry, that's actually harder. Had that stripped away from him. Desiree ends up with it. Flyers with the lead here. They might not be super aggressive. Try and keep this. Centering pass by Desiree. That was broken up by the Flyers. Kept in the blue line. Still in the zone. Desiree tried to play that out front. Oh. Diving play there by Rowley and breaks that one up, and it'll bounce all the way back to Peyton Lee. Weaver ended up playing that off the boards, ends up on Swales' stick. Sent up the ice for Hart, knocked it down but couldn't control it. Swales gloves that one down. Slips a check of Florian. Loses it now as Florian steals that away. Florian back the other way. That one blocked by Lauren Weaver. Second shot ramps up over a stick. I'm not sure where it is. I think that came up and hit Lauren in the face. And indeed, Lauren Weaver did take that puck up in the face. Hopefully he's not too banged up. Well, the chicklets are all good. He'll stay on the bench, so I'm going to guess so. Evan Weaver up for Hart. Finds Craig. Chips that past Arbery. Craig still with it. Tried to go out front. That was broken up. Craig took a shot behind the net. Slow to get up from that one. Hart takes a run at his man. Just able to get out of the way. Craig couldn't handle that pass as Arbery stepped in front of that and stole it. Icing coming up. Arbery took quite the collision there. Schmerman out here for this face-off. Norman and Smith on his wings. Canucks win that face-off, but swept all the way out of the zone. Lee will leave that there for Kevin Swales. Swales head up, waiting for someone to get into position. Now up for Smith. Shot on, glove save by Hatton. Smith took a shot after from Bird. Seems a little bit more physical in this first period as opposed to last night's first period. Face-off won by the Flyers in their own zone. Bird will ring that one around. Brennan pinching down to try and get that loose puck, and he ends up tripping his man, Phillips. So Sam Brennan's going to go to the box for a tripping call. Second power play opportunity for the Flyers. Had 3 last night, not able to capitalize on any of them. And Daryl Peyton Lee's in net for the Canucks, Landon Hatton for the Flyers. Flyers will start out now on the power play, winning that face-off. They'll set up Lagler. Nimmo, he'll spin away from a check of Lauren Weaver. Pearson, top of the point. Force man on the other point. Pearson gets it back. Lex not to shoot. Lagler lost it for a second, able to ring that one around. Horst will play it back. Pearson gets it off quickly. Lagler has a man out in front. Walks down, cross ice pass, and that skips past Horst all the way out of the zone. Horst will take that puck, bring it right back in for the Flyers. Canucks were able to get a change of penalty killers. Van der Wettering out there now with Egan. Shot on, saved by Lee, able to pick that up through traffic. Stop it with the pillows. Harder, shot on, kicked out by Lee, just past Horst at the side of the net, looking for that rebound. Halfie gave Horst quite the ride there. Canucks able to get that loose puck and then clear it down the ice. Harder leaves it there for Pearson. Miller-Jeannot, he'll just dump that one in. Lee out of his net. He'll go to clear that himself and will. Arbery. Just play that over for Harder. Left now for Sirota. Norman did a good job getting a shoulder into him. Now Hayden Smith has that loose in his feet. Lowett. Backhander, that just wide, and we got a knee on knee right in the middle of play. Norman and Lowen ended up colliding. Nothing intentional there, just kind of incidental contact, and not looking good there for Lowen. And just like that, that's how a series gets physical and ramps up. I don't think there's any intention there. Referees having a little talk at center ice. This could be a big loss for the Canucks, depending what's called here. The major's called and they end up losing Norman for the game. That is a big blow for the Canucks. Take a second here to thank all our wonderful sponsors while we wait on these penalties. Lawrence Meatpacking, RT Rentals, Weaver Auctions, Arc Resources, The Brick, Brown Social House, Dawson Creek Auto Dealers Association, Krantz Ventures, LMV Electrical and LMV Energy, Dr. Travis Pilipow, Sunrise Physiotherapy and Wellness, Windsor Plywood, Bar Down Sales, General Store, Brass Scissors Hair Design, Brogan Fire and Safety, CNC Concrete, Does Show Construction, E Construction, Hub International, Pomeroy Inn and Suites, Rip Shoe Renew, Canadian Tire, Glacier Mobile Class, and GCM Eco-Friendly Cleaner and Laundry Services. Again, thank you to all our wonderful sponsors. Wouldn't be able to do this without all your continued support. And after that, looks like Brett Norman, he's going to stay in the game, but he's going to have to in the sin bin there for 4 minutes as he got a 4-minute kneeing penalty. And we just hope Lowen's going to be all right for the Flyers. Fort St. John coach not happy with that call. He was wanting a major on Norman. And the Canucks now down to 5-on-3 for a few seconds. Cross ice broken up. Massingham trying to clear it. And out of the box. He's going to have to rush back in. That's Sam Brennan. He's back in. Now a long shot off Swale's skate into the corner. Massingham trying to get out of the zone. Brennan able to get the rest of the way. That'll let the Canucks get their penalty killers back in order instead of having 3 defensemen. Quick pass. Score! Canucks got caught on a change on the penalty kill, and a Flyer able to go in all alone, deep for the backhand, and made no mistake. 2-0 lead now for the Flyers. Dalen Pearson able to get that one, power play marker. And that one was still early in the first 20 seconds of Norman's 4-minute penalty, so he'll be in the box for another 2 minutes. Canucks down 2-0 and still on the penalty kill for another 2 minutes now. Flyers with the absolute perfect start that they were hoping for here at home, trying to get back in the series. Flagler will leave it behind his net. Legacy on the ice now. Sent over for Pearson. Finds Legacy. Legacy. Nice little move there around Weaver, but Weaver gets to the puck first in the corner. Cleared as far as the line. Paddled to the side by Peyton Lee on that shot from Sirota. Flyers will just wait behind their net. Let everyone get back so they can all head up at the same time. Florian, cross ice now for Harder. Back to the point, Sirota. Overskated that one. That brings him out of the zone as he had to watch out. Desjardins trying to bring it back the other way. Sirota will play it back. Legler gets through Desjardins and Schmerman. And now around Lauren Weaver. Tried to go upstairs just over the net. There was some room though. Sirota pinches down to keep it alive. Sirota out front. That deflects off his skate. Weaver's going to get to it first. Tried to play that up for Schmerman. Arbery got to it first, and he'll bring it back into the Canucks end. Harder. Watch there by Desjardins. Puck stripped away from him. Harder gets it back. Arbery now. Jordan Harder. Shot through. That's wide on the blocker side. Bounces off the end boards. Back to Arbery though. 12 seconds left in this power play. Shot on. That hit Weaver out in front. Both teams back to even strength as Norman steps out of the box, but I'm sure he's going to be a marked man the rest of this game and maybe series. One play for the physicality to just ramp up. It only takes something like that. The hatred starts brewing between the two teams again. These two have a long storied rivalry over 60 years. So it doesn't take much to flare things up. Get a flyer or a fire roaring. Was able to win that face. Brought them all the way back to their own end. Palfy fanned on that pass. Flyers will just dump it in. Swales will give chase. Just able to get out of the way of a Callio hit. Sent back to the point, and that deflects into the corner on a shot from Pearson. Puck still loose on the near boards here. That's going to bounce off the dasher on the Swales stick. Up the ice for Massingham. That's out of the way of Laker. Hansen will bring it in. Hansen lost that. Trying to cut to the middle. Still loose in the feet. Van de Wettering just wide on the... Tried to go on the ice right in the far side of the post, but a little wide. Swales, he'll get it up for Van de Wettering. Rally on the ice now, sent down for Hansen. Bounces off his skate, Flyers control again. Pearson trying to get away from Van de Wettering, he'll get it up. Flyers will get it out of the zone. Legacy, 2-on-1, 3-on-1 if the Flyers hurry. Apsassin left it there. Centering pass, and that one kicked out by Lee. Great Rex. Blocked by Hansen. He'll just play that down for his teammates to pick below the goal line. Apsassin has that stolen away from him by Rowley. Lee out of his net. He takes a bump from behind, and there's going to be a penalty coming up. Canucks might have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Van de Wettering into the slot, and that's penalty coming up as the Flyers made contact with Lee. Devin Greyeyes going off for goaltender interference, and with 51.9 seconds left in this first period, Canucks down 2-1. We got some words here at the boards. Someone coming over and giving Norman a little bit of a shot. Lucky he didn't get a penalty there for that. Face off. One to the boards, now a battle for it. Canucks won it, but that skips past Henriksen at the point. Out of his net, plays that around Horst. Horst takes a hit from Weaver. That's a glove save by Lee, just able to get a piece of that. Flyers with a really good first period for them. Looked like they were going to clear it. Norman able to keep it at the blue line. And the Flyers could get caught here. They're really trying to go after Norman. That was Sirota who took a run at Norman, and things are really heating up here at the North Peace Arena. Flyers just took another penalty. Adam Horst taking an interference call. This is where they're trying to get a shot on Norman to really help out the Canucks. They're going to chase him around all game. There's going to be open men everywhere else. Canucks win that face-off. 17 seconds to work with. One-timer. That's loose in front of the net. Shipton has it in the skates, and that's just going to slide out of the zone. Maybe one last shot. Fake the shot, did Desjardins. 3 seconds left. Into the slot, and that deflects wide. Flyers are going to be able to take a 2-0 lead into the intermission here. Canucks will have to regroup and come back stronger, get the comeback going. Take about a 15-minute break here for intermission. Want to thank everyone for joining us. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. Should start up here in about 15 minutes. And we'll see you then for the start of the second period. Thanks, everyone.